It's good.
Joey starts off.
Okay, I'm really awake as it is, but
Come on, Joey, wake
we'll
up.
talk about, I mean, how do you feel about to make your collegiate head coaching debut in a few days?
It's another football game to me. I mean, really, you just get so ingrained in what you're doing and focused on what you're trying to prepare a football team. To me, it's just bigger picture than what it normally is. Normally, it's pretty simple for me. I just focused on trying to get a defense prepared to play. Now I'm just trying to get a group of kids to execute in 3 phases instead of 1. So that I don't. It's game week. It's just I don't feel any different. I don't, than what I normally do, and I feel good where we are. I don't know really what to expect. I mean, we have a lot of, new faces. I mean, new systems, in every regard, everything is different. So we'll just see once we get out there. You really don't know. You're dealing with 18, 19, 20-year-old young men, and no one knows how they're going to respond to, a game day situation until you get into game day situations. So I'm excited to watch it more than anything, to be able to see how we do respond.
And what about your quarterback situation? You guys picked the starter, didn't you?
Yeah, you have to, obviously I have great belief in all of them. I really do. It just at some point you got to make a decision, and that's what we did, based on where we feel we are currently, and we got tremendous confidence in all those guys, and you can't just go into the season with one quarterback in this day and age. I mean, I just look at over the course of probably the last 5 to 8 years, teams I've been coaching on, and man, it's a tough sport, and things happen, and you have to have people prepared. And I feel great where we are at quarterback. Ethan Long is more than capable, as well as we named Maverick the starter. We have great confidence in Maverick, great confidence in Ethan as well. So we just got to continue to have a belief and see where this thing goes.
What did you see in Maverick that why he won't?
Well, it's we've said since word go, they all have different things they bring to the table, whether it be decision making, whether it be arm strength. I mean, obviously Maverick's got a big time arm, and his arm strength and just, I don't know, just his, if I kind of described it like this. I mean, Ethan is more of a Tom Brady, cerebral type guy. Ethan's more of the Brett Favre. Maverick's more of the Brett Favre, man, strong arm, let it grip it and rip it and let it fly. And so again, I feel great where we are at quarterback. It just boils down to you got to name a starter, and we went with Maverick. Got tremendous arm talent, and like I said, we're just going to get out there and see how it all fits together as a unit.
Now what about the receivers around him? Who
Yeah,
gonna go?
I mean, I think we're very deep at wide receiver. We got really big on the outside with Tristan Golightly. Blaine is obviously, you got 2 kids, 6'4", 6'5", out on the perimeter. Obviously, Scruggs has really come on. Kobe Clark, Kendall Catalon. I hate to leave somebody out, but I just think we got tremendous depth. I mean, at wide receiver, and again, that's just where gelling, and that's why naming a starting quarterback so you can get them into a rhythm playing with certain guys. I mean, you can't be throwing to different people all the time and expect everything just to fall into place. So I feel really good about where we are at wide receiver, and just the development. I mean, you got DJ inside at slot as well. I mean, we've just really, I think, upgraded our talent at that level, at that position, and feel really good about where we are.
No, and then you have some tight ends who can catch the ball, and they're all big boys.
That's, I mean, if you're 6'4" in that room, you're a midget. It's just like you got. I really like Jed Castles as a receiving threat. A 6'7" creates obviously opportunities and mismatches on a guy. What do you do with a guy like that? Who do you cover him with? Noah Caldwell, Grant, Colt Cooper. big physical presence in there, and I really like that room. I mean, Miles is a really good football player as well, physical, gives it a lot of things. So there's 4 or 5 guys we can put on the field at tight end, and I feel really good about.
Okay, good. That's all I got.
Owen?
Coach, looking at back at this quarterback decision, do you feel like this was a decision that felt pretty solidified the past few weeks, or was this really going down to the wire?
You know, in my book, it went down to the wire. I was really, just kept waiting. Boy, they just go back and forth. I mean, this guy has a great day, this guy has a great day, and the one thing that we did, it just came down to the fact that you just have to make a decision, and we made the decision that we feel was at best at this particular time, and like I said, we have tremendous confidence in both those young men. More importantly, the type of people they are, and they even have different leadership styles, and so it was just one of those deals where you just go and eventually you got to name a quarterback, and that's what we did. And it was, you'd like to have a little bit more time. If we could have both those young men competing throughout the spring and then heading into fall camp, you'd have maybe a little bit better idea. I think that's probably what maybe took it a little bit longer than we wanted to make sure we make the right decision, and kind of knowing what we had, thinking we knew what we had going into fall camp. It really played out over the course of 3 weeks, and so we were in no hurry to name a starting quarterback. Didn't feel like we had to do that, at any particular date, or we didn't have to say, hey, we're going to name a starting quarterback by this time. We just let it play out, and then when the time was right, we chose to go with Maverick.
A lot of great storylines across the board to start this season. One in particular that I'm curious to hear your thoughts on is Kobe looking to break one of his coach's records, the running back coach for the receiving record all time for ACU. I mean, what's that dynamic like between those two guys?
Yeah, it's obviously, I think bringing in the other wide receivers has made Kobe a better player. I mean, I really do. I mean, he's had a great fall camp. Because you could go from getting ready to be the all-time leading receiver to not playing. I mean, and that's pretty much the way it was as we entered fall camp. You're going to play. You're going to have to prove it, and Kobe's done that. He stepped up, met the challenge, and therefore it made him a better football player. And so, obviously, records are meant to be broken. It isn't interesting that, the guy that set the record is on the coaching staff, and I think it can be a deal where that can't become a focus or distraction. It's just got to be one of those things that just naturally happens. We're not sitting here looking, we got to get Kobe this record, It's really about the team, and hey, when it happens, or if it happens, it happens. I think obviously if we get into a situation where he's like a catch or two away, then that'll become a focus. We'll make sure that we make that happen. But at this particular point, our goal is to win, and we got to do whatever it takes to win the game.
And mentioning winning the game, it's early in the week, but it's also a short week. What's the scouting report looking like for Thursday's match?
Well, obviously we've been watching these guys all the way back since last spring and all the way through the course of the summer. I got tremendous respect for Blaine. Played at Air Force, coached against him when he was at San Diego State. So I know that you're going to have a disciplined and a tough, hard-nosed team. I don't care what the score was or how many times they played a year ago. It doesn't matter. It has absolutely nothing to do with this game that's going to be played on Thursday night. That's what we've tried to tell our kids, that, look, you got an opponent coming in here who's wanting to come in here and win, and they're coming into our place, and we want to make sure that we protect Wildcat Stadium. And our goal is simply to go undefeated at home and then see how many times you can win on the road. And that's no mistake. We're going to protect our home field advantage, and to do that, to win them all, you have to win the first one. And that's our objective, that's our goal. We know that we have a program that's in their third year. They probably have a little bit more game experience all the way across the board than we do with their returners. And again, I think they'll be a little more seasoned in that regard. And at the end of the day, for us, it's a process. We're just trying to focus on the things that it takes to win each and every day. We're not focused on winning a game. We're trying to build a program here. It's not about this one game. It's about us. It's about us trying to get better and learn how to prepare. I told our guys on Monday, hey, the secret's in the dirt, right? I mean, it's all about preparation. It's all about doing all the things that it takes to win. Don't focus on trying to win the game. Focus on doing all the little things right, and winning will be a byproduct.
Maybe.
Is there there's freshman class coming in, is there any superstars coming out of that mix?
Eventually, I tell you, one of the bright spots in that class has obviously been Rollon Banks. I mean, he is dynamic, to say the least. It's very interesting. I was talking to Coach DeWitt Jones earlier in the spring, or right after we had our signing class, and he had gone through and he had watched all their highlight videos, and it was very interesting listening to his take on all 10 of those high school seniors that we signed this past year. And I thought it was he told me back in those days, he goes, that young man right there may be one of the best football players that we've ever brought in here, and man, was he right. I love everything about Fogel and Kenny up front in the offensive line. Chitty keeps coming on at tight end. He's got tremendous upside. Malachi Medlock you see him in person, but then when he puts his pads on, he gets out there on the field and you go, that's a freshman running back. He's 6'1", 225 pounds, and he just all of a sudden when he puts his uniform on, he just looks big. We got great things in store for him in the future. Rovon, as I mentioned, on that side of the ball. Then, Reese Young on defense has been a very bright spot for us. Brandon Ramsey going to be a good little young player. Xavier Wishart has shown great things this spring. I can go on. I'm sure I'm leaving somebody out just off the top of my head, but I'm excited about that entire class. They're going to accomplish something special here. They really are if they stay together and see this thing through. And man, if we can duplicate that in recruiting this next year, the future's going to be bright.
The last time we saw you a few months ago, you had said there's a lot of things we got to work out before this week 1 game day. What's the update?
We're still working them out. Like I said, it's just a process. There's just so much new. Just from the way they practice, the way we practice, the practice organization, the meetings, it's just the language. It's like learning a new language. Well, I'm not only learning a new defense and offensive language, but I got to learn a new special teams language. It's a process. It's just so much newness, and I think that's what, for me, creates the unknown. How are we going to respond? That's the biggest question mark I have. How can you do it when all of a sudden, oh man, there's a band playing, oh there's cheerleaders, oh there's people in the stands, oh my mom and dad are up there watching me. You can't simulate that throughout the course of fall camp, and you try, but it's just not the same. So again, we're focusing on the process of all those things that you mentioned, and there's really, you have no way of knowing until you just get out there, and then we'll just correct it. And people say that you make your biggest jump from week 1 to week 2, your most improvement. I don't buy into that. We just try to go out and just get about that much better every single day, and then all of a sudden you get to the end of the season and you're this much better. And that's what we're trying to do.
Sure.
So you guys named your captains a few days ago. So what did you see from these guys during fall camp that led you guys to make them as captains?
Well, we didn't name them. Their players, their peers did. So obviously, we vote, and it's, what a tremendous honor. For a young man like Peyton, number 1, to be voted team captain. That just shows you the respect that his teammates have for him personally, and not only as a man but as a player. And he is going to he's going to play a tremendous role for us. We've obviously moved him to safety, so. He just brings a maturity, a leadership level that we need. I've told you since the beginning of fall camp that we're young on defense, so we felt like we needed somebody that could kind of be a glue guy, someone to bring them together, provide a maturity, and he has definitely done that for our guys. And I think he's going to have a tremendous season. Obviously, that's a great honor for him. Kendall Catalon comes in here, and in 3 months was, nearly the second. He was the second leading vote getter and getting, becoming a team captain. How impressive is that? Because I went back and forth saying, hey, do you have to be here more than 1 year to be a team captain? And I just said, nope, we're going to put anyone that has 1 or 2 years of eligibility left, we're going to put those guys out there as team captains to be voted on, and that's who the peers selected. Because at the end of the day, it's not my team, it's our players' team. And I say that all the time. This is a players' game, and this is their team, and we're just trying to mold them. And they voted on Kendall, and that was a great deal. Then obviously Blair, Zepeda, and then Torrey on defense. It just, to me, it's great, and it holds a special place in my heart because I was a team captain my junior and my senior year, and it's one of the greatest honors I've received to this day. One of the things, greatest accomplishments, just because it's your peers, and to be respected by your peers, that means a lot.
And then last question for me. So you guys start at home this season. This is the first time in probably 3 or 4 years that you guys have, that the team has started at home this season. So how impactful would it be, or like how would it start the season on the right foot to get a win at home?
Well, as I said earlier, our goal is to win and go undefeated at home. If you do that, and you go win on, now you can go win on the road, you can obviously position yourself for great things in the month of November and December. So that's been one of the points of emphasis. Well, you can't go undefeated at home unless you win the first one. So it's important because it's the first one, and that's what we've emphasized with our players, that hey, for us to do and meet one of our goals, and that's to be undefeated at home, what do we got to do? We got to win game one. And anytime someone is coming into your place, I mean, we got to take advantage. Hopefully there'll be a great crowd. I mean, that's where from big country. I mean, you got young men from Stephenville that's going to be out there playing. Young men, a quarterback from San Angelo. So we're hopefully we have a great crowd, and our kids will feed off that energy. It means the most, and that's why it's called a home field advantage. So again, we should have great student support, all the ACU students coming out, and I anticipate those guys to pack the stadium. And if we do that, it's going to be a great environment, and hopefully be an exciting, fun game to watch.
Coach, did those purple and white Nikes come with the job?
His wife loves them. I know that.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you can look cool if you're a 58-year-old wearing Jordans, but I mean, they did not come with a job. Okay, they came out of my checkbook. So no, but I don't know. I just the kids like them. I get more compliments on these shoes than anything. So we'll see. I don't know if it'll help us win anything, but if not, we'll look good playing.
Anything else for Coach? Thanks, Coach.
All right.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Coach.
guys.
Thank you, Coach.